Hey everyone! This week we're going to be talking about relationships, more specifically how to sustain healthy relationships through this pandemic. I'm going to be giving 4 tips in order to do that. Tip number 1, communication is key. We can't stress this enough. And that doesn't have to mean that we're communicating all day long with the people that we live with, but we have to check in with each other. So something as simple as just asking how each other's day went, asking ways that you can support your loved ones through this crisis. And it's important that you communicate with those that you're living with, what you're needing, and expressing yourself, expressing how you're feeling with each other. And that goes into tip number 2, setting boundaries. Now, there's not a clear divide right now between home and work because many of us are actually working from home. So trying to have a clear understanding of how to navigate that is extremely difficult, but to help that process be a little bit easier, you have to be clear and specific about what you need to have a good work environment at home. So make sure that your ask is very reasonable and specific. For example, if you need to get on a really important call at noon and you know that your family's going to be in the kitchen making lunch, maybe communicating to them, hey, from 12 to 1:30, I really need the house to be quiet so I can get on this really important Zoom call. Make sure you're not expecting that other people in your house know exactly what you need. If you don't tell them what you're needing and express it to them, we can't assume that people are gonna know. If you're working in the home with other people that are also working, it's important to set up separate workspaces so you can have your own space. So make sure you have a space that you can actually work in, that you feel comfortable in, and that your spouse or loved one also feels comfortable in. Tip number 3, prioritize your roles and responsibilities each and every day. So for example, if for a particular day you have to be a student, maybe a parent, maybe you have to be a counselor or a teacher, let your loved ones know that on that day it is super important that you work on those responsibilities and tasks. And let people know how they can also support you in those tasks. And tip number 4, the most important, leave room for connection and quality time. It is super important to do all of these other things and trying to work from home, but it is also critical that we spend quality time with our loved ones and those that we live with in our homes. Plan time to do things together that you guys enjoy doing. Putting aside conversation about the coronavirus, but really sitting down and doing a board game together, maybe baking together, watching a movie, and something that you guys can feel a sense of normalcy. And if you guys can plan that out at least once or twice a week, that's gonna really help to create a space for connection. And lastly, this is not really one of the tips that I'm adding in there, but just be patient with each other. Give each other grace as much as possible. If you need a break and you need to take a 30-minute nap or just even an hour in your room with the door closed, that is okay. Well, I hope these tips were helpful for you. Just remember, our relationships, we need them more than ever right now. And I know these times are really tough, but as much as you can have connection and quality time with them, when will we ever have a time like this where we have to really spend 24/7 with those that we live with? I hope these tips were helpful for you. And until next time, have a great week.